All right, I'm going to get a bunch of people right now ready to talk trash because, man, who is dealing with this heat at all in Southern California? Heat wave. It's not just Southern California. It's all across the southwest part of the United States. Super hot. And yeah, it's hot right now as I speak. And we're going to try and do the show in the heat. Let's get into this. Welcome to the Podcast of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
And the air leaves Al Lang Stadium in one large exhale. Trouble. Arozarena's beat. Orange County opens the scoring. It's Thomas. Kuninga scores! The old guard with a new trophy.
This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. Follow us on Twitter at OCSC_SoccerCast or on Facebook at Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. With extra crickets nowadays. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through this journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. Oh, and by the way, yes, we still are the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. Let's get into this. Let me introduce who's going to be helping us out with this tonight. First and foremost, he loves to go first any chance he gets, and that's Mr. Brad up in Reno. It's looking very dark there, Brad. Are you like just sort of in a chill mood? Power outages going on? What's up with that?
No, it's I have is that better? Is there light now?
You just had your mood lighting going, right?
Yeah, just the mood lighting with me and the dog in the room. Oh gosh. This is why we don't put Brad first.
This is why Brad never goes first, because he's busy with his mood lighting and the dog in the room. Let's introduce next. Let's bring on Taylor. Taylor's back after a few weeks away from us. Welcome back, Taylor. How you doing?
Good. A little tired from law school and work, but I'm here. I'm together, and hopefully can string some sentences together.
Hopefully hopefully any of us can string sentences together, because I'm already getting the vibe right now. This is going to be a very interesting podcast as far as just what we have to say and if we can put words together properly. One of the ones that might be able to help us out with that is someone that's been doing written stuff for us lately, and he's been on the show a few times. Let's welcome back Larry. Larry, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. How's everybody else tonight?
I got crickets going on over here, so that's how well I'm doing.
Taylor, I did not know that you were going to law school. Later on, when we're off air, we'll compare LSAT scores.
Oh no.
Mister, I like to show off my LSAT score. My LSAT score is bigger than yours, Larry Butterfuss.
I wouldn't be so sure.
And this has just become a weird episode already, especially in Brad's neck of the woods there.
It's the
his mood lighting with the dog, talking about his is bigger than Larry's. Let's just move on over to Mr. Dylan. Dylan has been another person that's been MIA a lot recently, but he's here. Hey, he's got a new background behind him. Is that a virtual background or is that a real background, Dylan?
Oh, that's a real background. If I throw something back there, it'll hit. We can.
For those of you not watching the videos, Dylan just made a huge mark on the hallway wall behind him between two white doors. So very interesting. If you're missing the live video stream of this, you're missing quite a bit already at this point.
Yes.
So
I'm only here for a little bit tonight, unfortunately, but I'm glad to be back, and I am already one margarita deep. So
he's just trying to make his appearance to rebuild his streak. It sounds like that's what he's trying to do.
No.
I'll say this right now, Dylan. Right now, your streak is, I think, as long as Taylor's and Larry's, so you're doing pretty good.
Nice. Yes. That's okay, Well,
let's get into this. Let's talk. We got a lot to talk about. We haven't even gotten into the soccer stuff yet, and there's already a lot to talk about. We didn't do a show last week, so we have to go back in time and try and remember a match that happened a week and a half ago, the rematch of the USL Championship final from last season that saw Orange County beat Tampa Bay. And this time around didn't quite go in Orange County's favor. I'm just going to throw it out there. Who wants to share their quick thoughts on this match? We're not going to spend too much time on this, but who has anything to say about the rematch that wasn't as exciting as probably the league was hoping?
I will go ahead and start because I actually didn't get to watch the match. However, with that said, Orange County is currently winning 4-4 on aggregate on the best of 2 series, and since they're both away, I'm going to go with 2021 rules and say that there's no PK because Orange County scored more away.
All right,
That works.
I guess. I guess.
I mean, that math adds
Absolutely.
up, right? Because that Ian Hoffman own goal. So in a way, Orange County scored 5, and Tampa's only scored 4, 2,
Yeah.
3. Wouldn't it be 3?
2.
It'd be 3 overall because they scored 1 in the final.
Maths is hard on this podcast.
I'm just saying,
Just so you
a
all
lot
know.
of
Just so you all
tequila.
know.
There was a lot of tequila that night, so my bad. It was disappointing that we didn't find the back of the net more, but to keep things brief, we won in Tampa when it mattered most, and it was always going to be an uphill battle to go back there and do it again for just 3 points, and it was always going to be an uphill battle just to fly across the country in the meantime. This reeks of a Florida league helping out a Florida team. But hey, there's a star above our crest, and that thing was won in the last 50 years. So that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we're the ones that at this point in the season, we can still say we are the USL champions at this point. I mean, it may not be in a few more months that we can say that, but as of right now, we are. Dylan's shaking his head. No, he has no faith. Apparently, we're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs as we speak, but man, that's a tough order there. But right now, we are the champions, right, Larry?
We are indeed. There was a couple of good takeaways from the Tampa game. I mean, we did have possession on them. If I remember right, like 56-44, somewhere right around there. And frankly, that it was kind of cool. Earlier in the week on Instagram, the Olaskis had a video clip of Milan practicing a free kick from that same spot that Brian ended up at. And they showed Milan practicing that free kick and then making that free kick at a UCLA game. And then Brian ended up with the exact same kick for a goal in the game. So that was kind of a nice little takeaway. Other than that, the game in and of itself was really lackluster. I mean, we had him on possession, but there was nothing to get excited or get interested about. It was just kind of just sit back and just shrug your shoulders and say, that's how our season's gone.
Taylor, your thoughts on that Tampa Bay match, if you have any?
Yeah, I think disappointing is a good word. Unexpected is another good word. Not unexpected, I should say, or expected. See, this is what I mean, sentences. But yeah, it was kind of predictable, I think, with how we're going, and there wasn't, that backing or excitement of a championship on the line to have them push even harder. But I mean, it is what it is, and I think we're kind of used to it at this point. But I have high hopes for next season. That's where I'm at.
Already looking forward to next season with those high hopes. Math is hard on this show. Apparently English is now hard on this show. We'll find whatever subject works best for this. If we had Cameron on here, maybe history would work out. But as far as this Tampa Bay match goes, I only got to watch bits and pieces because my family had planned an outing at Soak City. We left Soak City around 4:00, but I was the driver, so we're driving home. I'm trying to listen to the stream as we're driving home. I'm not looking at my screen because I'm a safe driver, especially when my family is in the car. But I'm listening to that. We get home right around halftime, but everyone's hungry, so I have to go pick up dinner. So I didn't really get to watch much, but the parts I got to watch weren't the exciting parts. I got to watch or listen to some of the more exciting parts. I'm watching that second half, especially as I'm waiting for my food to be finished and ready to go home. It was not exciting to hear, although as hopeful I think as I may have been going into the match, it's probably more realistic the score that we got out of this. The way the season has gone for Orange County, really this is expectations at this point. I hate to be negative at this point because I've tried to be positive as we go here, but it's just been a struggle for this team this season. And big part of it is injuries. A big part of it is roster turnover. And just players not finding their form like they did last season is difficult here. So I'm sort of looking forward to next season, but I'm still excited about the rest of the season. We still have some more matches to go, and we will talk about those. But so they lose in Tampa Bay, and then they come home and they have to face Memphis, another East Coast team, a team that I don't believe the club has faced yet in the short existence of Memphis. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at home, maybe this is where you're like, okay, we need a win at this point to be happy. And I think it looked exciting at first, but it's sort of turned out to be sort of the same old story for Orange County and not being able to hold on in matches, if I'm correct, right? It was a late goal from Memphis that sealed it. And it's frustrating, disappointing, because that's something that this team in their run to the championship last year, they didn't do. They did not allow those late goals that were going to hurt you. They got an early lead, or they got a lead at some point in the game, and then you almost had this confidence that, okay, we've got this. This team knows how to stop the other team from scoring. Now, obviously, we had Rob Kiernan during that time, and he's been a big missing piece of this puzzle for Orange County. You had someone like a Kevin Alston on the roster who, although maybe later years of his prime, he still was reliable, and he was still someone that had this mental strength on defense. Maybe the physicality, the physical aspects of it weren't there, but he knew what to do with what his body could do. Sort of what we see out of Michael Orozco. He knows what his body can do, and he's smart enough to deal with it. But I think with Michael Orozco, and we saw that this plenty last year, and maybe this is something where he's not able to play his full game, because last year he was able to take the risks because he knew he had a Rob Kiernan back there to back him up if he made a mistake. And I don't think Orozco has been able to do that this year, because now you have an Albie Skendi as that backup. And I don't know. I haven't asked Michael Orozco, but I don't think he has the confidence in Skendi as he did with Rob Kiernan in the back. Larry, you were at the game. You actually, for those that didn't know, if you were following our Twitter feed, he was actually the one doing the live tweeting from the stadium. So we appreciate that, Larry. But you were there at the match. What were your thoughts? Break it down, first half, second half, and is the result the deserved result from this match?
First, in regards to giving up those late goals, I actually went back and looked at it. It hasn't happened as many times to us this year that changed the outcome of the game as our brain is telling us it did. It's kind of like our brain's telling us that Sinbad was in the Genie movie and he never was. Never mind, it's a joke. But I went back and I looked, and Oakland twice. Oakland scored in the 90th, 94th, and then the 90th and the 93rd. And both of those, all of those changed the outcomes of the game. Phoenix scored in the 94th minute to tie us. San Diego scored in the 85th minute to win. Colorado Springs scored in the 80th and the 92nd to get a tie. And then Memphis scored in the 85th minute for a tie. So that's only 6 times all year. It seems like it's been so much more. And maybe I missed a few, but I went back through every game to check that out. In regards to this game, I thought the first half was really lackluster is my word for the night. There was nothing really intriguing that happened, except of course for Brian Olowski's goal. And I actually wrote up a little breakdown of that goal, and I'll go through it real quick, and then I'll shut up. So you've got Rack with the ball out of the back. Rack rolls it out to the captain. Captain goes out wide to Alex. Back in the middle to Dylan. Dylan goes back out wide to Milan. Milan makes a bad pass to Dylan. Memphis intercepts the ball. Milan chases down the errant pass. He intercepts the ball back. He gets control at exactly 42 minutes into the game. I know, because I was literally stopping and starting the feed. He's just outside the center circle. Now, in the meantime, if you're looking, you can see Brian has come back across the midline. And as soon as Milan gains control, Brian just changes direction and takes off. It was telepathic. Only brothers who have played together since they were 4 years old could do this. If you watch, Milan doesn't even look up. Milan just literally puts his foot to the ball and launches it 25 yards down the field, lands it on top of Brian's head. Brian's 3 feet past the defender, or 3 yards past the defender. It's not even close. So over the top, it lines on Brian's head. It's all Brian from there. He heads it to himself another 20 yards down the pitch. One touch, stops on a dime. Memphis defender goes flying by. He almost gets his ankles broken too. Brian's got 5 yards of space. Kubo standing on the penalty spot, screaming for the ball. If you're watching it, and I was right there on the end, he's screaming for the ball. Brian's like, nah, that ain't happening. Blasts away with the left foot for the goal. It was honestly watching it slowly and literally stopping every 2 seconds to break it down. It was one of the best goals we've scored all year. It was just beautiful from start to finish. The pass from Milan, the finish from Brian. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Grayson got that picture right there of Brian celebrating the goal. My son rocks. So 85th minute goal. It's happened to us a lot this year. Maybe not as much as we think it has. But yeah, I also took a look at it, and those 6 games that we all should have won, that's 18 points on top of our 27. We're sitting in 4th place and we're in the playoffs, if not for those 6 games.
I think Larry knew exactly what I was going to say before he ended it. He made sure he said it. Probably more like 14 or 15 points, because some of those did end up as draws. So we would lose that point from the draw or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we would be sitting probably even with New Mexico at 42 points if we hold on victorious on those, which I think we would all be stoked with the way the season has gone. Even if those results are reversed, it's still been a frustrating season. Sitting in 5th, tied in points with New Mexico would be amazing. Let me go to you, Taylor. I'll get your thoughts on the match. But before that, when are we going to hear this announcement? Should this club be renamed to the Orange County Olosky SC club eventually? Because Olosky seem to be running things for this club, at least this season, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're holding it down. I think the little faith that some people have left in it is because of them. I mean, and they're playing a beautiful, beautiful game. Like Kubo, I don't normally talk so highly of Kubo, I feel like, so this might be my first time, but he was in fantastic positioning all night and open and ready for any passes, any crosses type thing, but they didn't need him. They had it done and down themselves. I mean, maybe there were some shots, that were saved and things like that, but like they had plenty of opportunities themselves. And if we're lucky enough for them to stick around, I think we'll see some more beautiful telepathic goals, as was said, because they're just like, now that they're there together, it's just insane. Ilowski to Ilowski and goals is what's going to happen for sure.
Brad, can you imagine how amazing this season would have been if we would have had a third Olosky on the roster and had him all season? This would have been we would be sitting top of the table, no losses, perfect in points, right? I mean, if we had 3 Oloskis all season.
Who's the second one that I'm missing? Because you mentioned, okay. Well, we only have 2 on our roster. One of them's been injured for most of the season. However, with that said, this, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was Brian's first start of the season. And he definitely looked like in form, especially on that goal. Larry here is saying second. Yeah, I'm probably wrong anyways. But if you were to take the numbers and the initials off the shirt and it just said Olosky, and you showed us that goal and said that an Olosky was going to score a goal in like a couple weeks from now, and this is the goal, that looks exactly like Milan a couple times this season, where he creates the space in the box and he finishes it clinically and with power too. So good seeing Brian kind of stepping up there, especially with the run. It was a really good pass, really good run. And if you would have showed us it any other time in the season, we would have said Brian made that pass. Milan scored the goal.
Dylan, your thoughts?
It's frustrating to give up another goal in the final 10 minutes of the game. But it kind of just felt deserved, per se. I felt like Memphis kept stretching the game horizontally really well, and Orange County struggled with that. I was surprised to see that Scandi was not asked to play in the defense. Instead, found himself towards the top of the field, looking like kind of like a newborn deer, if I'm honest, and struggling to do step overs, which I just felt like, hey, if this guy's 6'5", throw him back there, make it a back 5, suffocate the middle of the pitch with a very good midfielder in Dylan Powers to really anchor that. Instead, it kind of looked like we didn't have a plan for those final 10 minutes. It kind of looked like we had committed to throwing a big guy up, so if we hit a clearance forward, he could win the ball. And we did this half. Oh, we're gonna sit back and try and defend, and half. Well, we threw a big guy up top, and maybe we'll try and get a second goal and see this one out. So it's frustrating that we're now in September, and it's still not super clear what's always happening. I've been following Kyle Scott from a distance since he was with Chelsea, and it's a little bit disappointing. I don't think he had a particularly good game. It was disappointed to see that, Tommy McCabe wasn't used to kind of kill the midfield with Dylan Powers and see the game out. So goes down as another point. Apparently another 2 points, now totaling 23 points that we've dropped from a winning position this year. I kind of have to echo Taylor here. I'm excited for next year, and I hope Milan puts another 20 goals in the back of the net in the final few games. Because one, it might mean we make the playoffs, and two, when he moves on at the end of the season, hopefully we get a fee for him. Hopefully he's a multi-year, and we get something of a fee, because he's in great form and shows the quality that says he probably deserves to be at a different level than the one that we play at.
Yeah, it's go Brad.
Just to echo a couple of points that Larry and Dylan added. Although it's not taking into account the points we've dropped from these positions, just 80 plus minutes into a game, the team has allowed 15 out of our 47 goals, which is good for about 32% of the goals we've allowed this season have come after 80 minutes into the game, which is, we talk continuously about finishing games and gaining points and fighting the last 15 minutes. And it's just dropping these points and allowing these late goals. I'm not taking into account, the score at the time. Just the defense has been good up until about 75 minutes into a game in a lot of these games. And as a result, we're just allowing these late goals, and a lot of them have been, like Larry said, the 2 against Oakland, the 2 against Colorado Springs have been almost disastrous. This team's sitting in last place after winning a championship and has the golden boot leader in the league, and yet still only has 28 paltry points in 27 games.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, right? Is we have the golden boot leader and we're sitting last in the Western Conference. And really most of us seems to be, we're looking ahead to next season for what's going to happen, or for the excitement now. So we're getting into the final stretch here of the season at this point.
Hey, Ray.
But before we talk about these, go Larry.
I just wanted to add something about Albie. When the guys were standing over there getting ready to warm up, Haggis kind of shouted down to Albie, "Hey, you coming in at striker?" And Albie smiled and gave a thumbs up. And I kind of chuckled at that, because I'm not really sure that he should be a striker, but what the hell do I know? But the trainer, the guy who's standing down there with him, he turns to me and he goes, "No, Albie plays a number 10 when he was in Europe for most of his career." And I shrugged and said, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, he runs like 33 kilometers per hour." So I did some math. 33 kilometers is like 20 miles an hour. Mike Trout, who, for those of us who are baseball familiar, Mike Trout is one of the fastest players in Major League Baseball. Mike Trout runs 29.4 feet per second. That's 19.77 miles an hour. Is there anybody on this planet who thinks that Albie is as fast as Mike Trout? I'm just curious.
I mean, they wear those black tracking data vests. So either Albie has hacked it and made it read information incorrectly, or he's secretly fast. And I'd love to believe that he's fast.
Are we keeping in mind that that Mike Trout's probably, these statistics is taking into account he's probably starting from like a holding bat standstill? And
no, that
this is in general.
That does not factor that in. That counts. That is running speed going like first to third.
Well, the most important, we got to figure this out now because we've learned that Skendy's pretty darn fast. Now, how fast do cheetahs run? Because Skendy's getting close to cheetah territory. It sounds like at that number there. So we got to see this. We got to maybe we'll talk to the club. Maybe they could bring a cheetah out and we'll just have Albie and a cheetah race from goal line to goal line and see how that goes.
Albie ain't going to win that race. Love the guy to death. He ain't winning that race.
But do you think the cheetah will play fair and not like run into the stands and maybe maul a couple spectators or whatnot? That's another
fun to watch.
question there.
Is that, a wanted release at this point in the season?
Whoa. Let me ask you this.
Goes.
What would be more exciting? Albie racing against an actual cheetah at the stadium or Albie racing against the cow from Chick-fil-A?
Now just knock the Chick-fil-A cow over. Their food's garbage.
But what would you pay more to see at halftime? This is a serious question for all you, Brad. Albie versus a live cheetah or Albie versus the Chick-fil-A cow?
Don't we have 2 more games to preview here?
Answer this question and we can get to our preview.
Just because I feel like most of the USL hates the corporate sponsor being listed second, I'll go with the live animal.
Taylor?
Chick-fil-A cow.
Dylan?
I only want to see him race a cheetah for apparently the potential of a cheetah jumping into the crowd and mauling some fans. And I just want to go on record and say, I hope that's you, Ray. I hope you get mauled by this cheetah.
Welcome
So
to
you have this hatred for me now, Dylan? Have we been doing this way too long where now you just have this deep hatred for me? I thought we were friends, Dylan. Larry, come on.
No, I'm with Dylan. I want the cheetah to go up and eat somebody's face.
But not me.
Whoever's closest.
Me or Dylan? You got to answer, Larry.
I like Dylan's hair, man.
But wait. We're talking face, not hair.
But I'm trying to pull off a Larry here with what I can do. This is about the best I can do with my facial hair, Larry.
You got a long way to go. Needs a little
we got to go into some previews of upcoming matches, but before we do so, we got to figure out how we're doing on our contest for predictions. Is Larry still an expert or a bigger expert than all of us, or is Alan
Short
doing
answer,
good?
yes, but the margin is slightly shrunken.
Well, do we have the numbers? I don't know if our producer has those numbers ready.
He should have the numbers. I don't know where he is. He just made
we-
a comment in the chat.
He was so annoyed by us, he's left this.
Wait, what am I supposed to have? What?
Oh boy.
The numbers
I was looking up fast animals for Albie to race.
Ooh, a squirrel.
Oh, brown
squirrel,
bears.
wow.
Brown bears run
Brown
about
bears
34
are sneakily fast.
kph. What am I
Uh,
no,
can you
score
just
predictions?
Put up the score prediction scoreboard.
There
There
we
it
go.
is.
There we got it. So look at that. Larry is still the biggest expert out of all of us with 109 points. Dylan, early in the season, you were doing really well, but then you decided to skip out on a bunch of episodes. So we made a bunch of dumb predictions for you, which haven't gone your way. I like Mackey's prediction or suggestion there. Albie versus an F1 car. That would be good. I don't know if the city would like the car on our pitch, but
The city doesn't like us, so I don't know if anything on the pitch would be a good idea.
Taylor gets it.
out of us experts, Alan's in the lead still with 99 points. I think he's at this point, maybe we could say he's running away with it. It's if you go to that old Chick Hearn things, the fridge is closed, the Jello's jiggling, the eggs are getting hard or whatever. I forget what he used to say. I didn't watch many Laker games. But Dylan and Brad, you're still close to second. But Dylan, Brad, that's like the biggest battle.
Yeah,
there for
I
second
also
place.
have like a good 6 more games predicted than Dylan. So if you take that and break it down to points per prediction, it's pretty.
No, Brad.
Dylan's
It's
missed
Dylan's
1,
fault
2.
It's Dylan's fault for having more
3,
important things to do than hang out
4.
with us on a Tuesday night.
Dylan has 4 what I would refer to as troll predictions.
If they're on there as predictions, they are not troll predictions. They are legit predictions that he made, even if it's subconsciously because he didn't show up on the show. Let's move on. We got some predictions, some previews to do. First one coming up here in less than 24 hours, right? They're going to be heading up the coast to Monterey Bay area. What is it? Seaview or Seaside or whatever the name of the city is that they that stadium is in. But they're going to be moving up to play the Otters of Monterey Bay. What are our thoughts on this? At one point, it was Monterey Bay and Orange County sitting at the bottom of the Western Conference table, but RGV must have been getting a little jealous. They came down and joined the party. Monterey Bay has jumped up ahead of them. Is this one of those matches where we're hoping for a result? And if we do, we'll be like, yay. Or is this like, do we need to see a victory from Orange County at this point? I'm going to go to Taylor first.
I mean, if OCSC win, I will be ecstatic. I just don't think there's going to be enough people or fans behind them, or I don't even know if it's like enough on the line at this point. Like there's no title to be won. I don't see it happening. I mean, if they win, I'll eat my words happily. I would love them to, but I think they're not going to have enough oomph in them for that game. I think we might have to wait for the Knicks to see that kind of fire beneath them.
And I'll get some further shoot, but I have a challenge for our producer at this point. I don't even know maybe if this can be found, but like I know there's like a Copa Texas, and I know a few years back where there was this Copa California attempt from the Fresno fans, but they're no longer here. So I don't know if we can figure out like what are the standings for Copa California at this point, or Copa Califas. That is it, Mr. Producer. You're smart. Let's see if we can figure out what those stands are, because maybe there is something to play for. Maybe Orange County still has a shot to say we're the best in California, at least against other Californians.
I think our record is positive. I think we're 0-2 against them. So like I do think we have that, but I just don't think we have our past in our favor right now.
Let me go to you, Larry, as sort of a huge super fan of this team. I think out of all of us, maybe Taylor's there with you, attending most games out of this group here on the season. But how frustrating? I'll ask you your thoughts on Monterey Bay. But how frustrating is it as a fan that probably would be willing to do some traveling? That we had a San Diego match weekday. And now one of our other closer in-state rivals is Monterey Bay is a Wednesday evening. Makes it difficult for fans to travel these matches. Is it frustrating as a fan to have these like local sort of rivalry type games and we can't go to them because it's a Wednesday?
Yeah, absolutely. Just, me personally, when I saw Monterey Bay, that was one of the first things I looked at. When do we play Monterey Bay in Monterey? Because I love that area. And I even talked with Carrie. I talked with my girlfriend about it. And, we said, that'd make for a great weekend to go up there. Then we look and it's Wednesday. Great. So not going to that. And then the San Diego game down there Wednesday as well. It's just, that's been really frustrating and it's kind of sucked. There's been a lot of things about this season, right from the minute we saw the schedule in general, that has not been favorable for us. But, it would be great to go up to Monterey for a weekend or, down to San Diego for a weekend. That's, it's a great place to spend a weekend, and just not being able to, that's kind of been a little bit of a downer. And even the Phoenix game, in Phoenix, that was 4th of July weekend. I'm not going to make a drive like that on 4th of July weekend. There's no way in hell. So yeah, it would be nice to get to some of those, but just hasn't worked out this year, unfortunately.
And your thoughts on this upcoming match against Monterey Bay? Is it a winnable match?
I'm concerned. I just looked it up. Their last 5 home games, Monterey's 4 wins, 1 loss. That's it in their last 5 home games. So they've been playing pretty well in their house, and they already came to our house. And I don't remember if it was a tie or if they beat us, didn't they?
2-0.
2-0, yeah. So I'm a little bit concerned about this game. I would love to see us get back, get 3 points, because really, I mean, we are all but mathematically eliminated. So, anything outside of 3 points probably probably kills us with the math there. I'm not sure. I haven't worked it out. But yeah, this game's a concern. Monterey's been playing some pretty good soccer lately. We haven't been. So all we can do is hope and keep our fingers crossed that maybe both Olowski score a brace and, we end up with 4 goals and nobody gets a red card and Monterey only scores 3.
Or maybe we somehow magically sign Eric Olowski and we have the trio of Olowskis that make us an amazing team.
3 braces for a 6-3 win. That'd be good too.
I love it. It's a 6-3 win, so he doesn't have faith in any kind of clean sheet for our keeper. Dylan, let me go to you. Thoughts on Monterey Bay on this match? And if you were able to make the trip up there, do you go up through Big Sur or do you go up through the basically empty, vast Central Valley on I-5?
First off, put some respect on the Central Valley as they do feed us. So we would all be probably significantly skinnier without.
Have you ever driven that route up I-5? There's nothing on that route.
Hey man,
except for truck stops every 2 hours.
All right, hold on. One, we're in California, so it's not I-5. It's the 5. You're from here and you should know that. Second, that's an amateur move. You take the 99. Come on. Your first time driving through the state? I'm disappointed in you, Ray. This is why I want you to
No. I will say when I went to Monterey Bay a few years back, or more than a few years back at this point, we did do the drive through Big Sur. But then on the way home, we're just ready to get home. We went through I-5 or the 5, Dylan, to get home because we just wanted to get home as quick as possible.
No, 99 is the way to go if you're going to Northern California, unless you're taking the coast, in which case the coast is always worth it unless there's recently been a landslide. Go through Big Sur.
Go for it.
Go through Big Sur.
Hey, thoughts on the match? Yeah,
we got to win or we're out.
So you still have some faith is what it sounds like you're saying. We got
mathematically, we're not out. Realistically, I don't think we've got a shot of doing much in the playoffs or even making it. But you know what? We went on, like I said, 10-3-1 run at the end of last season to get to that point or something. Anything's possible. Now it's up to the players to decide. Now it's up to the fringe players to decide and to make those decisions and to see if they can cope with the pressure of must-win games. If we don't do it, obviously we're out of the playoffs and it doesn't matter. And that bodes well for what would happen if we did somehow sneak into the playoffs in a few weeks. Because if you can't do it under the pressure in June, you're not going to do it in the pressure in October. And I don't know if we've got that in us as much as they're 4 points ahead, but it's 4 points also involves 4 more wins than we've managed. So, if we catch them on an off night, they might concede 3-4 goals. Maybe we sign the third Olowski brother, and from right back, he scores a brace like Larry predicted. And we put 6 past them. I don't know. Maybe we do that. Or maybe they win 1-0.
Can I say this, Dylan?
Go ahead.
I'm very disappointed that you did not quote anything is possible properly on there. I'm just going to say that right now, Dylan. Brad, quick thoughts on the Monterey Bay match before we move on to the exciting match happening after that.
I mean, every game has to be exciting from here on out. Either we win or they become not exciting anymore. And credit to Monterey Bay. They are completely making an Oakland out of this. They are looking to sneak into the playoffs themselves like Oakland did in their inaugural season last year. And this team has been playing quite well. My boy Sam Gleedles scored a brace in the last game down there. He's been playing very well. And it's hard to see a world in which Orange County is being competitive on the road on a Wednesday in this case, with the idea that we still have a couple really tough games still to come later this season. So, I mean, obviously we're taking it one game at a time, but I'm not super. I don't know how to say it, but I'm not expecting much out of this game, and we need to expect 3 points if we want to stay in any kind of contention at all.
Predictions for this match. Quick score predictions. Larry.
2-1 Monterey.
Taylor.
2-0 Monterey again.
Dylan.
1-1.
Who would have guessed that, Dylan? Brad.
0-0.
2-1 Orange County is my prediction. Mark it on there. It's going to happen. That is the truth. Dylan, you said you weren't going to be here that long, but you've made it 75% through this episode. Do you want to hang out for this next part of the conversation?
No. I mean, I do, but I can't, unfortunately. But I'll throw a quick
Before you leave, what's Alan's prediction going to be? Are we just leaving it up to chat this week?
Yeah, let's leave it up to the chat.
Mr. I'm on a plane and cannot call into the.
Whoa. How many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
All right, so that's
That is-
Orange County score. And then do we know how many miles he's traveling? Where's he going to?
He did mention it. Hold on, I will find that.
Figure out how many miles it is to where he's going, and there's the opponent's score.
Nice.
All right, Dylan. Well, you have a good rest of your evening. You're going to miss out this fun conversation because upcoming for Orange County after the Monterey Bay match is
A big 3-0
Hosting.
victory over Los Dos. And
hosting Los Dos at Championship
Attaboy,
Soccer
Dylan.
Stadium.
F the Galaxy
Dylan.
forever.
Have a
Okay,
good
bye,
one.
everyone.
From what I know, it's going to be a packed house from the fans at Championship Soccer Stadium. Hopefully, it's mostly orange, or at least Orange County fans in that house. Hopefully, it's not, LA Galaxy's front office buying a bunch of tickets to hand out to their youth programs and say, hey, try and go to this game, or let's buy all the tickets. And then no one shows up and it looks like it's an empty house. We know that there may be some sneaky stuff going on here. We know a few weeks back, they sent in a cat to chew on the internet connection so that the stream doesn't work. We've seen some of the text messages between front office of LA Galaxy and the city of Irvine. So some of the things that we're hearing, that official statement that LA Galaxy made after everything hit the fan, that they never intended to, have the park to themselves. They want to work with everyone for this. So maybe I could imagine maybe that's a plan. Maybe they bought, 3,000 or whatever tickets that were available for this match, or anything like that. So who knows what's going to happen, but hopefully a lot of orange there, hopefully a lot of Orange County fans. I think this is going to be the most, loud, energetic, emotional match of the season for Orange County, especially at this point where we're pretty much all conceding that we're not going to make this last ditch effort to get into the playoffs and maybe make a run for the championship. We know Brad. I'm going to assume Brad's not making the trip for that match, but Larry, Taylor, are you all going to be at this match?
Oh yeah, we'll be there. We sold 60 tickets for the game, and we're all going to be piling there together. It's our son's soccer team, his club team. So his whole team and their families are going, and then the older team, I think they're 12 and under. They're all going too. So we're all piling together.
So we're gonna have to talk afterwards, Taylor, because I want to. What club is this that they
Trojan
play
FC, they're in Huntington Beach.
for? Okay. So but you said one of the team might be like the U12 team. I may have to talk to you because I would love to set up a scrimmage for my U12 team against another U12 team. It'd be pretty cool. So maybe we'll figure that out. I'll be at the match. We'll talk. We'll figure that out.
Wait,
but,
what? Ray, you're going to be at a match?
I am going to be a match. I
What?
will be at a match.
Oh, I thought you were surprised that Ray was talking about his son's soccer team on Orange County's professional soccer podcast.
Oh, trust me, more to come as we go through this episode. But yeah, no, I will be at the match as well.
Awesome.
This is one because it's the LA Galaxy thing. I marked it on my calendar that I'm potentially going to this match. So unless something comes up that I can't make it for whatever reason, I know there's the potential for like a tropical depression hitting our area later on or over the weekend from what's going on with a tropical storm off the coast of Mexico. So who knows what Saturday night's going to be like. That might be very fun, very interesting, and exciting. But how excited are we to have this match happening after all that's happened? We know there's still more happening, but how excited are we for this match? I'll go to you, Larry.
Cannot wait for this match. I'm going to be down on the sidelines again. I don't know if I'm going to live tweet again, only because as much I really enjoyed doing it last Saturday, but I couldn't really watch and enjoy the game the way I would normally want to. So I'm going to be down on the sidelines with Grayson while he's taking pictures. And I may do a little bit of live tweeting, probably not nearly as much. I can't wait for this game. First of all, Galaxy has not been playing well, excuse me, since we handed them their ass back in end of July. Preston Judd has not scored a goal since he scored that goal in the 3rd minute against us back in July. Drac has been their main goal scorer. Drek, I can't Brad, you would probably know. Is it Drac or Drek for Galaxy?
Hold on, I need to look up the pronunciation. I'll get back to you on that one.
All right. He's been putting some balls in the back of the net. This is actually a game that I see as very, very winnable for us. It's a home game. It's going to be an emotional game. Even though they are not allowed to go on record with me, I have talked to a few of the players about this Galaxy situation, and they have had some very colorful comments about it as long as I've told them that they're off the record. So yeah, I think that our boys are going to come out. I think they're going to be fired up. I think we are going to see our team play as well as they have played all year. And for anybody out there who is watching right now on the podcast, if you are part of the County Line Coalition, just let me make a suggestion because I just want to see this one time. Should Galaxy score at our end, instead of wanting to go over the rails and give them the high sign and talk a bunch of smack at them, just do this instead. Everybody just turn around. Don't even acknowledge them. We got to get the CLC to do this just once. I think that would shut them up immediately. But we'll have to work on that. It's going to be a great game Saturday night.
So Larry, you were talking about this sign. Are you talking about like your number one sign? Is that what you're talking about when you're like, instead of giving LA
like
Galaxy your number one sign,
tell you
turn your back?
that you're number two. You know, they say number two. American, we use number one. So yeah, that particular sign, just don't even acknowledge them. Literally, just everybody turn around, look at the flag, and just stand there until they go away. And they will, and they won't know what to do. It'll be awesome. Just suggest.
All right, Taylor, how excited are you about this match? And let me say this. Maybe has anyone suggested, or maybe the club's already planning on doing this? Wouldn't it be awesome if the club goes and gets that video feed from the city council, gets clips of all those speeches that were made and plays that before the match or during halftime or all that fun stuff? That'd be amazing.
Matt, I might just have to email, make sure and send some text messages out, make sure that happens. I think that would be a really good way to go, like a compilation of those. I am so stoked for this match. I don't think that there is any shot the Galaxy could win this. I'm so happy that we are at home. I know that both teams have had some rough soccer playing, but I just think that the energy that it's going to be at Championship Stadium on Saturday is just going to be unmatchable, and nobody's going to be able to touch them. I just think it's going to be amazing, and I really think the crowd's going to be super filled, and I just know that there's so much emotion from all of these people and the players. There's no way that we would just go through this like a normal game, even if we lose in Monterrey and it's like we end up being mathematically out of the playoffs. I don't think that's going to take anything away from the Galaxy game.
Don't we love how easily at this point Taylor says soccer when she's talking about this sport,
So
and doesn't cringe when she says soccer, or doesn't like start with foot and then change to soccer. She just smoothly goes into the word soccer at this point.
I've been trained well at this point.
Brad, from someone that won't be at the stadium, but you'll be watching probably on the stream. How exciting is the match, and what are you anticipating that you'll see here from the fans at the stadium?
I mean, hopefully I do see not only fans in the stadium, but in the seats and actively investing in the game and across the stadium. Hopefully there will be, like your typical signs of support for Orange County, more so because of the significance. But just a quick reminder to all the fans that are in the stadium, remember that these players for LA Galaxy 2 have nothing to do with what's going on behind the scenes. They are trying to advance their own careers in the way that benefits them the most. They are in the same position as a lot of the Orange County players. So if you ever wanted to, give a number one symbol to... Thank you for that. You're also pulling your Brad and you're muted. Wow, what a cacophony of errors.
I messed you up, Brad. I messed you up. Go for it.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna get back to that question Larry asked me earlier. If you wanted to give a one finger salute to Mr. I believe it is Drac, like Hugo Drax from Moonraker, the James Bond movie. But if you wanted to give a one finger salute, just remember, hopefully it's because they did something on the field you didn't like and not because of the not because of the situation surrounding the game with LA Galaxy organization and the city of Irvine. But I think what's most interesting, and I know that Wayne Evans of Phoenix has posted some interesting statistics coming out of, they're not statistics, but like his freedom of information request, which is probably more narrow than ours. But some of the things that the city has also been looking into includes for World Cup soccer preparations and practicing. They're looking at charging 6 figures a day for use of the stadium for practice for national teams, and they'll probably get it too, knowing that it's LA. A lot of games are going to be played in this geographic sphere of the United States and Mexico. So it'll be interesting to see. We're not in the geographical sphere of Canada.
The only thing that I would add to that, read the players though. I mean, and then finish your point is I understand that it's not their fault that we're in this position. However, they don't need to be silent. I understand that they may have direction from people above, but that they don't have to be silent. I mean, that's the same with everyone in any position. You can always say, it's not me, it's them above me. But you do have a voice in things, and as a collective, you can have a voice. I'm not saying that is a reason to, be flipping birds off at the players or to have any sort of amnesty, but I do think that they could have a little more to say in this situation too.
We'll get back to you, Brad, really quick.
Yeah.
You're going to catch some flack from a mom of one of those players, I think, on social
media.
I
know.
Because,
I know.
Okay. I want to warn you. I just want to warn you, Taylor.
But the thing is, I've been part of institutions my whole life, as in college and now law school. Like Chapman does something wrong, I'm a student. It's nothing to do with me, but I still write open letters out publicly to the dean of the law school and have conversations with them. Just because you're a part of it and it's someone up above doesn't mean that you don't have a say or an impact either.
Sorry, Brad, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
I think to go back to Taylor's point, I think first team players are afforded more of a luxury to use that voice. It is sad that they're not using it. I don't think that these players in the second team are the ones that I would be looking to put blame on for not speaking up, because given a lot of these guys are still teenagers or in their young 20s and still looking for a way themselves. And not only that, but it's a USL team and a MLS2 team at that. They're looking just to even grind out spots on these teams. So I totally agree with you, but at the same time, it is totally understandable for them to keep quiet in this situation.
Right, and like I say, I don't blame them. I just think that it's them being silent still says a lot. And the thing is, if they were to come as a collective together, which I understand is hard to do, but as a collective together to say something, it's not like they're going to get rid of the whole LA Galaxy 2 team and replace. That would be insane.
That would be very on par for the organization, though.
That would be very AAG-esque to do something like that, right? Larry, did you have a last thought on this match before we do our predictions?
Yeah, just wanted to clarify. I was saying that the CLC should not give the finger.
I know.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That's why I used that example.
I'm advocating giving the finger. So no. Okay, I just want to make sure. No, that
we need to do for our merchandise line. We should just get like a cartoon drawing of Larry with some sort of a vulgar comment of LA on the shirt, giving the middle finger, and that'll be a perfect shirt to sell in there. Maybe it's like LA is a landfill, and then he's giving the middle finger up or something like that. That'd be perfect shirt for us to. We're going to work on that, Larry. Do we have your permission?
Just silhouette my head and my beard, and everybody will still know it's me.
There we go. They'll know exactly what that is, right?
Wait. They could confuse you for Alan on a good day, maybe.
Not even kind of.
Oh, no. Alan does not have Larry's beard game going. I'm telling you that right now, Brad. Alan does not have that beard game. Let's get to our predictions really quick. Here's what we're going to do for Alan's prediction. So someone's going to have to do the research for this. Alan's prediction. He lives in San Diego. So Orange County scores however many miles it takes to get to Championship Soccer Stadium from Torero Stadium. And then LA's score is going to be however long it takes to get to Dignity Health, whatever stadium from Torero Stadium. So that's going to be the score prediction for Alan. I'm calling that one out right now. And it's the one that sort of runs this podcast. I get final say on that. Taylor, what's your prediction for Alan's score, for your score for this match?
3-1 OC.
Larry.
3-1 OC.
And I think Dylan did mention something before he was leaving. If anyone caught that, let Brad know so he can mark it down if he hasn't caught it.
I think it was 3-0 for
I
OC.
already put it down. He said 3-0 OC.
Perfect. What's yours, Brad?
My 2-0 OC.
All right, I'm going 10-0 Orange County for this one. 10-0 Orange County is my prediction. Booyah. Let's move on to some other soccer stuff. We got to do this quickly because we're running low on time here. Anyone else have any other soccer stuff they want to talk about?
Professional or just soccer in general?
Soccer, just soccer.
Okay.
Soccer news. Random soccer news.
Okay, I have no random soccer news. I have a random soccer comment. I can save it for
Go for it. No, do it.
Okay, so Grayson, you are listening right now. Starting tomorrow night, Grayson is trying out for his high school soccer team. Buddy, you have worked hard, and I am incredibly proud of you, and I love you. And no matter what happens, good, bad, or ugly, go out there, give it everything you got. The next 2 nights, play like it's the last time you are going to play. I love you, and you got this, pal.
See, I'm not the only one that talks about my kids' soccer on this show. It's official now. We got Larry. Larry's got my back on this. Because I'm going to talk about my son's soccer. He played in a tournament this weekend in like 95-degree heat, and he scored from the penalty kick. I think we sort of saw that earlier when Brad was speaking, but this was his penalty kick. Thoughts on his form, Taylor?
Oh, it's. Oh, here we go.
Oh, let's start it again. There we go.
Oh, look at that. Great. He knew where he was going. Right part of the foot. Perfect placement. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to say he was a little disappointed that it was so close to the keeper, but he told me he keeps it low because he knows that's the most difficult for the keeper to get, is to get really low like that. So he always tries to aim low corner, low post. Got a little bit close to the keeper there, but I will say this: in every penalty kick he's taken in his youth soccer career, he's never missed. And he just deals with that pressure. I asked him after the game, "Do you get nervous when you do PKs?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But you just make them?" He's like, "Yeah, I just aim low and just try and get it away from the keeper." So that's what he does every single time. But he's I'm the dad, so of course I'm going to say you kick it. But if he was bad at penalties, I'd tell someone else to kick him. Any other soccer news?
I got 2 for you. First of all, as kind of to whet your appetite for Orange County playing tomorrow night, there's this little small beer league competition that's being televised nationally on ESPN called the U.S. Open Cup.
Oh, yeah.
The finals are tomorrow, and Sacramento is playing in Orlando City at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. That'll be a very interesting game because MLS, I hope, will lose, even though I am a Reno fan and Sac is a historical rival to us. However, MLS is just such a poorly run organization. And speaking of poorly run things, go and rewatch a lot of those Premier League games this last season with emphasis on the VAR or lack thereof in certain games. It has kind of been a shamble watching VAR, which when instituted right is amazing and totally good for the game. But in a couple select games, I'm thinking Liverpool and the Arsenal game. Obviously, they didn't play each other, but in those 2 games, there have been a couple of very missed opportunities for VAR to be used properly in those games.
West Ham got screwed against Chelsea.
A lot of it.
I'll say a couple things from what you said, Brad. I think most USL fans are rooting for Sacramento in this match. I think the last non-MLS team to win was Rochester back in the days. So I think there's a lot of anti-MLS fans are going to be rooting for Sacramento. And then you get the casual fan that just roots for the underdog that's going to be looking, hey, go Sacramento. Sacramento, although not quite a rival for Orange County the way it is for you up there in Reno, still, any other time that you see Sacramento playing, you want to see them lose because they're usually battling on the standings for us. But in this instance, I think there's going to be a lot of people supporting and cheering on Sacramento from across not just the US, but maybe even globally. Who knows? And what was your other thing you mentioned? I forgot at this point, Brad. I guess I should just shut up. Let's move on to random thoughts. Unless Taylor, do you have a soccer thing you want to share?
Yeah, thank you for like including me in this little segment here. If
Hey, I remembered before I moved. I officially moved on. So
check the VAR tapes. He did remember. He did remember to look at the VAR.
Oh, I know. I now know because you said that. I now know what my other thought was. But Taylor, go for it.
Two quick things. One, I apparently we haven't been at a game in a little while, but apparently the compilation has been running at the games already from the Irvine City Council meeting, so that's really cool. But they might try and get it running at halftime too for LA Galaxy game. And then second thought, if American football is your thing, not really mine too much, but apparently they do like scrimmages at SoFi Stadium, like on the field, and it's for teams. So like our son's team is going there. It's like you have to sell like I think it's 30 tickets per team. So like you would take someone with you, like another team to go with you. You would have to sell either 30 or 60 tickets between you guys to be able to play a scrimmage or a friendly game on SoFi Stadium with like access to the stadium and stuff like that.
I will say this, Taylor, as you were mentioning that the cricket in my studio here was going crazy. So they liked that news apparently. So apparently really amazing news. And the other thing I was going to say about VAR, Brad, is I think there's some like crazy computerized VAR that's being used for Champions League this year. At least that's what I was seeing on social media. I don't know if it's true. But if it is, it'll be interesting to see what that is. Let's get to our random thoughts now. And I'll start, Taylor, I'll let you go first for random thoughts since we almost skipped you for the random soccer news.
Oh, you came really quick to me. Random thought. Well, we went to in Anaheim, the the things like the medieval times that you take. Pirates Dinner Adventure is where we went. I was gonna say it's like the medieval times, but it's pirates. And it was actually a really, really good time. So I would recommend that to those with kiddos. Like if you wanted a nice day out in the weekend when it's like scorching hot and you don't want to do something in, that was a really good time.
Awesome. Larry, random thought from you.
Since Grayson got a shout out, I'm going to give Carrie a shout out too. If anybody out there watching is into country line dancing, The Ranch in Anaheim on Thursday night.
Wait, did he actually get disconnected or?
No.
Apparently our producer does not like country line dancing, Larry, just so you know.
Well, my girlfriend there in the background, and I say this not because she's my girlfriend, but because I have seen other country line dance instructors, the best in Southern California. So two lessons a night, Thursday nights, The Ranch in Anaheim. Check out my girl, Carrie Kick.
Do it.
She is your instructor.
Come see me.
Achy breaky heart there. Brad, random thought.
I can't top Carrie coming into frame and protesting, but I guess my random shout out is I've been trying to watch a little bit more movies than I used to, and I just finally got to watching Logan, the Wolverine final Wolverine appearance for oh god, what's his name? But Hugh Jackman, and it was a very good movie. Very good movie.
Well, Brad, if you need a recommendation for a movie, since you seem to be liking movies lately, go watch Mars Attacks. Really good movie. Have you seen that one, Brad? So why are you shaking your head? No, it's a good movie.
Can you kick him out?
It's got an all-star cast. I'll say that right now. Larry liked it apparently because he laughed at my suggestion. Taylor, have you seen Mars Attacks?
No, I've never even heard of it.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Taylor, go watch Mars Attacks, and then next time you're on the pod, you can give us a review of that movie and your thoughts, and either 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down, 1, who knows, right?
Is it in black and white or?
No, it's a 96
like
it's an animated. I know exactly what movie
it's not animated, Brad. Don't say it's animated.
Poorly.
It is a live action movie. It's got an all-star cast.
Pierce Brosnan has done better.
Danny DeVito's in there. It's got some good actors in that movie. It's got the Jim Brown's in that movie, I believe, the football player, American football player. It's a good movie. Go watch it. I see that our producer is he speaks Martian, so he's put that up on the chats. He speaks some good Martian there. I have no random thought for y'all because we got to end this thing. It's late. So I want to thank Larry, Taylor, Brad, Dylan was here for most of the episode. Wherever Alan is, I think he's flying somewhere up in the sky. Hopefully he made it there safe. And our producer, Andy. Thank you all for watching, listening, whatever you do to this. One last thing I do want to say is I know on Twitter there was recently the text information or the conversations between LA Galaxy and the city. Right after that city hall meeting, we did put in a request for documents going 3 years for all communications between the city and any entities involved with that stadium. We are supposed to get our first batch of documents this Friday. We're going to, as a team, go through those documents, find all the good information stuff. And I think Larry has committed to, once we provide some of the good information, he'll share it in a written form. But we'll also go on Twitter and share anything if we think it's really interesting to hear about. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get the full 3 years worth of documents, but we are going to work on getting those so we can get down to find out what really happened here and share that with y'all. So be on the lookout for that on our website for written stuff or on social media, what we have to say, or we'll talk about it on future episodes. But okay, sorry. I knew we were trying to wrap things up. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.